Welcome to the Soul of Islam radio podcast with Ahmed Saqa'anini and Ihsan Alexander. The Islamic Renaissance has begun. May the peace, the mercy, the blessings, and the light of the divine be upon you all. My name is Ahmed, and I'm a physicist, a poet, and deeply committed to the reawakening of the human mind and heart through art, science, and spirituality. Ihsan is a spiritual coach committed to spiritual awakening within the Muslim community and beyond. He is the creator of several leading-edge coaching and online educational programs designed to cultivate greater awareness, spirituality, and success. You can learn more at his website, ihsanalexander.com. And you are listening to the Soul of Islam radio podcast. It is a weekly program dedicated to sharing the deeper dimension of Islam and supporting your personal growth and spiritual development. Again, I am Ahmed, and I am here with my good friend and dear brother, Ihsan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Ihsan, welcoming you to this episode of Soul of Islam Radio. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's divine light and peace and mercy and grace and blessings be with you and your loved ones wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us.
Today's podcast is on the Islamic Renaissance. It is a divinely orchestrated reality that all of humanity will be a part of. We urge you to find the time to take a moment to reflect on your own life, your direction, your purpose, your community, and the entire human family. Nothing is happening by mistake. Nothing is random, and you are here for a reason. Everything that has happened and is happening to you is a reflection of the choice made by your mind. Know with certainty that the tomorrow of possibilities, the divine enlightenment, the peace and love can only be attained here and now. And we as Soul of Islam Radio would like to take the opportunity to tune in and share with our listeners the vision for the Islamic Renaissance.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyid Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyid Muhammad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. You are not listening to this podcast by accident. You're not hearing this message by accident. As Ahmed said, you and we're all here for a divine reason, for a divine purpose at this unique moment in time and in human history. Perhaps never before has spiritual awakening been so necessary. Technology has amplified our ability to destroy not only ourselves, but our planet. Technology has amplified the destructive power of the human ego, of ego consciousness, making it more necessary now than ever to awaken and transcend ego-based consciousness, to awaken and transcend ignorance, unconsciousness, to rise above Jahliya. We are again in an age of ignorance, where the light of truth and spirituality has been veiled, has been forgotten. If we look at our world, it is plagued by misunderstanding, by conflict, by violence. Our lives are fractured individually as well as collectively. What was once one human family is at war with itself throughout the planet. More than anything, we need and are seeking peace in our personal lives at home, as well as in our communities, in our societies, throughout the world. When the Prophet of Allah, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, arrived and was given prophecy, was given the light of guidance, his community and the world was in an age of darkness, an age of ignorance, an age where the light from the divine presence had become veiled and lost, forgotten. The message of the prophets was lost and forgotten, misunderstood. And now, just over 1400 years later, we again find ourselves in an age where the light of the divine presence has become veiled from humanity. We're trapped and lost in materialism and in a materialist understanding and approach even to religion and spirituality. We have again sunk into unconsciousness and into ignorance, collectively speaking. What is happening in the world, and specifically within the Muslim community, is no accident. We find ourselves perhaps at the lowest point in our history and in the history of our civilization. We were once an enlightened people, leading humanity forward in every sphere, in every area of life, in every field of science. We once exemplified the highest ideals of moral and spiritual excellence. We once manifested and were exemplars of the highest qualities of human character and cultural excellence. Now, when the name of Islam and Muslims are mentioned, people cringe with fear and misunderstanding. And this is because we as Muslims have forgotten and misunderstood our very religion, a holy, noble, and divine spiritual path meant to lead humanity to spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Islam is not just a religion of rules and regulations. Al-Islam is a spiritual path meant to connect the human being with the presence, the eternal divine presence of the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The purpose of Islam is nothing other than the highest attainment of spiritual excellence and enlightenment within human consciousness. We have a rich spiritual tradition. We have a divinely revealed spiritual path. And it was this connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this connection to the Creator, to the divine force that created this universe, that fueled the light and the life of the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and their companions. It was their sincerity, their humility, their excellence, the perfection of their beings and their character and their culture that fueled the Islamic explosion, a growth and expansion unlike anything the world had ever seen or has ever since seen. We have forgotten what Islam is, and it's time to remember and to reawaken to the truth and reality of this divinely revealed spiritual path and tradition. Never before has a proper understanding of Islam been so necessary, and it is said that is darkest before the dawn. We are at the edge of tomorrow, at the edge of a new dawn, a new day, in which again the light and the spirituality and the excellence and perfection of Islam will become manifest. You are part of that. You are here now at this point in human history, listening to this message, listening to this call, because it is your destiny. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again calling this nation back to its excellence, to its perfection, to its beauty, to its light, to its spiritual excellence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again calling the Muslim world and the Muslim community to awaken and to rise above ego consciousness, to rise above anger and ignorance, fear and hatred, to again rise to the highest ideals for which He subhanahu wa ta'ala created humanity. He is again subhanahu wa ta'ala calling the Muslim world and the Muslim community to exemplify the way of the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way of excellence, the way of perfection of human character. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling you, and it's time for all of us to do our part in our own personal transformations, in our own personal awakening, so that through our personal healing and transformation, through our personal metamorphosis, we can begin healing our planet and our world. We can begin healing the human species. We can again point the way back to the light of the divine presence.
Throughout history, throughout the story of man, we have seen that every civilization, every culture, every people has had a moment to collectively make a beneficial contribution to all of humanity. The contributions from all are numerous and cover every imaginable field. Every part of the world has experienced some kind of a renaissance, has had the chance to receive from and shine under the light of the divine. Humanity's success was driven by the submission of the human mind to divine inspiration, to divine guidance and knowledge. Sadly enough, it was the same human mind that plagued nations with wars, violence, and destruction. However, despite everything that is happening now, we, the human beings, are on the cusp of a new day, a new age, a new way of thinking and feeling. We are approaching an era full of possibilities, built on the foundations of love, peace, and unity. We are entering a Renaissance age, not reserved to a particular group, a culture, or race of people. It is an age reserved for all of humanity. A renaissance of the human mind and its realization of the truth of all truths. It will be a day when man will taste the sweetness of the act of surrendering and triumph both together. The Islamic Renaissance is on the horizon.
When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created humanity, when He first created humanity, the angels asked, Ya Allah, what is this creation that will spill blood upon the earth and create mischief? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I know what you know not. Allah Azza wa Jal created humanity with a divine purpose. And He said, I'm going to establish a deputy, a divine deputy in creation. One who will represent me in creation. One with divine authority and divine power. It is Allah's will and our destiny as human beings to become khulafa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There can be no greater honor. We as human beings have been given the responsibility to represent Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And more than anyone, this falls upon the Muslim community, whom Allah said, you are the best of nations because you enjoin and embrace what is good, and you avoid and you repel what is bad. First and foremost, we must embrace what is good within ourselves and repel what is bad within ourselves. We have been given a mandate to be, to become, to exemplify the highest of human ideals, the highest attainment of human excellence. It is our duty to follow in the footsteps of Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ and to purify ourselves of everything other than truth, to purify ourselves of anger, of bitterness, of fear, of hatred, of resentment. This is not Islam. Islam is peace, it is serenity, it is harmony, it is light, it is love, it is beauty, it is compassion, it is mercy. Islam is consciousness, awareness, it is connection to the divine presence and to eternity. We must remember that we were not created for this world. We were created for eternity. And if we lose that connection with eternity, we lose who we are. Allah Azza wa Jal's divine deputy is he or she who is connected to the divine presence, and thus he or she through whom the light and the mercy and the love and the peace of Allah flows through. A Muslim is one through whom humanity and creation benefit from. A divine deputy of Allah must represent the divine qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we claim to be Muslims and the people of Allah if we are not representing the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We draw nearer to Allah by manifesting His qualities of light and love, of mercy, of compassion, of forgiveness, of generosity, of peace, of forbearance, of patience. We call others to Allah not through our words, not through logic, not through reason, but through the virtue of our beings. By manifesting Allah Azza wa Jal's light, we become portals to Allah. We become true da'is, those who truly can invite to Allah. And this is how Islam spread. This is how Islam was embraced throughout the world across every possible culture. It wasn't through logic, it wasn't through reason, and it certainly wasn't through force. It was purely through the light of spirituality, the light of excellence, the light of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it is this light, this divine light of spirituality, and this light of Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that will again make accessible to humanity the connection to the divine, the connection to eternity, and a far greater purpose than living for this temporal life. The Islamic Renaissance is now. The Islamic Renaissance has begun, and it will be the transformation of the Muslim community to their highest potential that this world will be saved.
The term Renaissance has been reserved for a European age spanning from the 14th to the 17th centuries. The contributions of this particular age were of great value to humanity, and they were made in science, art, music, and even religion. But what many fail to acknowledge and realize is that there was an age right before it that paved the way for the European Renaissance. And that age was known as the Islamic Golden Age. The Muslims of that time were dedicated due to their acknowledgement of, belief in, and awareness of Allah. They made contributions in medicine, biology, mathematics, art, architecture, and even physics. Al-Alim Ibn al-Haytham, also known as Al-Hazin, who's usually not acknowledged in today's science, is known by many to be the first true scientist. And the reason being is that he was the first to apply the scientific method. He also set the foundations of optics, as well as the basis for experimental and theoretical physics. Revisiting the Renaissance, or the Islamic Golden Age, is crucial to understanding the nature of a Renaissance, especially the Islamic Renaissance we are all about to embark on. You know, the word Renaissance in Arabic is nada, and it is inclusive of many meanings, and those are advancement, growth, progress, and rise. It also means an awakening, a reawakening, a rebirth, and a revival. Taking a closer look at these meanings can give us an insight to what to expect in tomorrow's Islamic Renaissance. We must take note that Islam itself is not reserved to anyone, regardless of their language, race, culture, or even their political stance. Islam transcends all boundaries. It has been given to all of humanity through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Secondly, the real understanding of the real purpose of Islam is close to non-existent in today's world. Islam was whole when it was transmitted through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But over the ages, it faced many forks across generations that forced Islam to be veiled from people's hearts. It seems that every group within the Islamic community has held on to a piece of the treasure that it was, and every group is claiming to possess the entire jewel. And for this very reason, the Renaissance that humanity will experience tomorrow will enlighten our hearts with a truth that happens to have the same name as the path that close to 2 billion people claim to follow today. And that truth will be called Islam. The Muslims of today and tomorrow will face an Islam that is far from the version of Islam that they have been taught and conditioned to follow. Islam will seem and feel new to everyone, both Muslim and non-Muslim.
We, the Muslims, those who have been given divine revelation and the guidance and the light and the way of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, were created to be leaders. We were created to lead humanity towards what is good, towards what is best. We were a nation, a people of knowledge, seeking knowledge wherever we could find it. And this led, as Ahmed said, to advances in every field of science imaginable. It led to a golden age from which was possible the European Renaissance and the modern age. Yet somewhere along the lines, we forgot our purpose. We forgot who we were. We forgot that we were created for and by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for His divine presence. And so we began to slip into heedlessness, into unconsciousness, into ignorance of who we are, why we're here, and where we're going. We lost our connection to eternity. We lost the barakah and the support of Allah Almighty. We are not a chosen people by virtue of our names or our culture, or the fact that we can identify as Muslims. We are blessed purely by the virtue of our honoring this divine trust. The Prophet of Allah ﷺ said, all human beings are equal like the teeth of a comb. He said all human beings are equal, not just the Muslims, but all of humanity is equal. Yet the thing that separates them is their God consciousness, their connection to Allah, their connection to the divine presence, their transcendence of the temporal world of form. That is what separates humanity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says also in the Quran that I do not change the condition and circumstances of a people until they transform themselves, until they change what is within themselves. The plight, the circumstances that the Muslim world finds itself in is nothing other than a reflection of the inner state of the Muslim community. The Prophet ﷺ said that there will come a day when there will be nothing left of Islam but its name, and that they will recite the Quran, but it will not descend below their throats. And they will call themselves by this name, but they will be the furthest people from it. A day that will come in which there will be nothing left of Islam but a memory or a shadow, where its reality will not enter into the hearts of people, but will be trapped purely intellectually, theoretically, in books, in speeches. Yet Allah preserves His religion in the hearts of human beings. And many will call themselves Muslims, but they will be the furthest people from Islam. This is the hadith of the Prophet of Allah ﷺ. The reality of Islam is not theory, it's not concept, it is not an intellectual path. And we've discussed this previously on Soul of Islam Radio. The reality of Islam is a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual path that takes root in the human heart, that awakens the human heart. And the human heart is the connection to the divine presence of Allah. It is the connection to eternity. So long as we live our lives through our minds, through ego-based consciousness, we will live in fear, in doubt, in insecurity, in instability, and in chaos. Yet when we can learn to transcend the mind and ego consciousness, we can again learn to tune into the presence of Allah and learn again to live from our heart, to awaken heart-based consciousness, where we are led by inspiration, by the Spirit within. We will again attain success in this world, and more importantly, in Akhirah. The Islamic Renaissance is a spiritual awakening within the Muslim community, a reality which is completely not apparent when we look at Islam now. The Muslim is he or she who is an enlightened human being, and this may appear as a strange idea or concept nowadays, given the images that were given of Islam. And so said the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that Islam will return as a strange thing as it was in the beginning. So blessed are the strangers.
The Islamic Renaissance will be a reawakening to the real purpose of Islam. Let us remind ourselves that every soul has witnessed and testified in the divine presence. The initial point of our existence was beyond space and time. From nothingness, we were summoned to awaken to this very truth. And now, the echo of this memory will drive humanity towards a point in space and time to only reawaken to the very truth it had witnessed in the very beginning. The Islamic Renaissance will be a period where science, technology, art, medicine, and spirituality will all converge to a single point. A point only seen by those with open hearts. Now, because a renaissance points towards advancement and progress, it will demand responsibility and dedication from the people. And so obviously, those who are willing can truly taste the fruits of such an era. It will be an age where the power of discernment will be accessible to those who can see with the eye of the heart. And such people will be able to distinguish between truth and falsehood. The Islamic Renaissance will overflow with the beauty, success, peace, love, and awareness that humanity was created for. You are not listening to this episode by mistake. Your choice to cleanse your heart and mind at this very moment in time is a blessing and a call from the divine to participate in today's Renaissance. You have not been created in vain. You are not a random process or a collection of particles moving in space and time without purpose. Know with certainty that you are here and now, experiencing this beautiful cosmos to do one thing: and that is to know what you already knew. It is said that you never know what you have got until it's gone. And this great fall from the divine presence into this universe is just that. We are here. We are here to rediscover and to reawaken to the ultimate truth. And for that, the human mind must submit and surrender so that it can be moved towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, the creator of everything. The Islamic Renaissance is here and now, and it has begun.
The Islamic Renaissance is now. The Islamic Renaissance, this Renaissance is you, and this is the call. Now it's up to you, it's up to us as a community to turn within and to awaken to and embrace the spiritual path of self-purification. Now it is our duty and our call, our honor to turn towards personal, moral, and spiritual excellence, to connect with the reality of the divine presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be connected with Allah Almighty and with His Messenger, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and to become what we truly are, to become what you truly are, an honored and noble servant in the divine presence, representing the divine presence, a living portal into eternity. Now is the time to manifest and exemplify, to become the highest ideals and possibility, the greatest potential for humanity. Now is the time to show humanity what is possible. Now is the time to be what is possible. Now is the time to be Islam, to be peace, to be excellence, to be light, to be mercy, to be strength, to be faith, to be beauty, to be compassion. Now is the time to truly be Muslim. Now is the time to be what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you to be. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support us. Together we can change everything. Whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, take the next step. Begin the journey within. Go deeper. Reconnect with the light of Islam, with the light of the divine presence, with the light of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Devote time to your personal and spiritual development, growth, and awakening. Be prepared to change. Be prepared to transform. Go within and become something new, something beautiful, what you truly are. Together, let us show humanity what is possible. Let us show humanity what Islam truly is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون. صدق الله العظيم. Ya Allah, it is those who acknowledge the divine, who acknowledge Allah with the Shahada and say Rabbuna Allah, that Allah is our Lord. Those who reach a station of awareness to seek a straight path in their lives. Those people, Allah, the creator of the universe, will remove sadness and fear from their hearts through His angels. He will work through His angels to remove sadness and fear from the heart of man. Allah is sending a promise, is sending a possibility that we can all experience here and now. The Islamic Renaissance has begun.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Nabiyil Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Nabiyil Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Nabiyil Ummi wa